NASA's Lucy spacecraft has revealed that a small asteroid in the main asteroid belt is far stranger and more geologically active than scientists expected. The object is called Donaldjohanson, and when Lucy passed it on April 20th, 2025, from only about 600 miles away, the spacecraft saw something that immediately demanded a closer look: an elongated peanut-shaped body with an unusually narrow neck connecting two massive lobes. Researchers had expected a relatively simple asteroid. Instead, the images showed a world that looked as though two separate pieces had been pulled together and reshaped by forces acting over millions of years. That detail matters. Because Donaldjohanson is not one of Lucy's primary targets, this encounter was designed mainly as a rehearsal for the spacecraft's upcoming visits to Jupiter's Trojan asteroids. Yet the rehearsal produced a scientific surprise of its own. And the more closely scientists analyzed the data, the more complicated this little asteroid became. For decades, astronomers believed that many small asteroids could be understood as relatively simple fragments left behind by collisions. They are often treated as the rocky leftovers of solar system formation, small enough that gravity cannot reshape them into spherical worlds. Donaldjohanson seemed to fit that general picture. Before Lucy arrived, observations from Earth showed that the asteroid changed brightness dramatically over roughly a 10-day period. That suggested a long, slowly rotating shape. Scientists also had evidence that it may have formed about 150 million years ago when a larger parent asteroid broke apart. So there was already a story. A larger body shattered, fragments separated, and one of those fragments became Donaldjohanson. Simple enough. But the first close-up images added a detail that was much harder to explain. The narrow region between its two lobes was not shaped like an ordinary smooth connection. It looked almost like two nested cones pressed together. Researchers immediately noticed something unusual. That shape is important because an asteroid's surface is a record of its history. Unlike Earth, Donaldjohanson has no atmosphere, oceans, forests, or plate tectonics constantly erasing old evidence. Its craters, ridges, slopes, and exposed layers can remain visible for enormous periods of time. When Lucy approached, its long-range reconnaissance imager, known as LLORI, began capturing high-resolution images as the spacecraft rushed past the asteroid. Lucy also carried instruments capable of studying color and infrared radiation, allowing scientists to investigate not just the shape of the object, but also clues about its surface composition and temperature. Think of it as examining a crime scene with several different cameras, each revealing a different part of the evidence. The visible light images showed the structure. The infrared observations could help reveal how the surface behaves thermally, and together, those measurements could tell scientists whether the strange shape was simply the result of an ancient collision or something more complicated. The answer was not immediately obvious. In fact, Donaldjohanson turned out to be larger than earlier estimates suggested, measuring roughly 5 miles or 8 kilometers from end to end and about 2 miles or 3.5 kilometers across at its widest point. Those numbers may sound small compared with planets, but an object several miles across can preserve a remarkable geological history. It is also large enough for its shape and internal structure to tell us something about the collisions that built the early solar system. That is where Lucy becomes especially important. The spacecraft was launched in 2021 with a much larger mission in mind, to explore the Jupiter Trojan asteroids, ancient bodies that share Jupiter's orbit around the Sun. These objects are thought to preserve material from the solar system's earliest stages. Donaldjohanson was essentially a practice target, but the practice target was already giving scientists a lesson they had not expected. There is another reason this asteroid is so interesting. Donaldjohanson appears to have formed relatively recently in astronomical terms, about 150 million years ago, from the destruction of a larger parent body. The solar system itself is about 6 billion years old. So this asteroid is young compared with the planets and the oldest surviving space rocks. That makes it valuable in a different way. Instead of looking at an untouched relic from the beginning of the solar system, scientists can study a natural experiment in asteroid evolution. They can ask what happens after a large collision breaks a parent body apart. How quickly do the fragments settle into stable shapes? How does sunlight gradually change their rotation? And how does a loosely assembled body respond to millions of years of heating, cooling, and tiny impacts? One possible clue comes from something called the Yorp effect. The name sounds complicated, but the idea is surprisingly simple. Sunlight carries momentum. When sunlight strikes an irregular asteroid and is later released as heat, that tiny exchange of energy can gradually change the asteroid's spin. Over extremely long periods, the effect can speed up or slow down rotation and alter how a small body evolves. For Donaldjohanson, scientists had already considered the possibility that these thermal forces helped slow its rotation over time. But once Lucy showed the asteroid's unusual two-lobed structure, the question became more interesting. Could its current shape and slow rotation be connected? Or was the asteroid assembled through a sequence of collisions that left behind a structure far more complicated than its earlier observations suggested? That question reaches into one of the most fundamental problems in planetary science: how small pieces of rock eventually become planets. We often imagine planet formation as a simple process in which dust gathers into larger chunks. Those chunks collide, and eventually gravity builds worlds. Reality is much messier. Collisions can shatter objects. Fragments can drift apart and later reunite. Two bodies can make contact without completely merging, leaving behind a structure called a contact binary. In other cases, rubble can gather into loosely connected masses held together more by gravity than by solid rock. Donaldjohanson appears to belong somewhere in that complicated family of processes, but exactly where is still being investigated. And this is where Lucy's observations become more than just a collection of remarkable photographs. The spacecraft was designed to study asteroid surfaces at close range, but it is also giving scientists a chance to compare very different kinds of small worlds. Lucy already visited Dinkinesh in 2023, another main belt asteroid that produced an unexpected discovery when scientists found that it had a tiny contact binary moon system called Salam. Then came Donaldjohanson. Two small asteroids, two very different surprises. That pattern does not mean every asteroid is bizarre. It means our distant observations may be hiding more complexity than we can see from Earth. There is a professional lesson here that I have seen repeatedly in astronomy. The most valuable discoveries are often not the answers we predicted, but the details that force us to ask a better question. A blurry point of light can look ordinary for years. Then a spacecraft gets close enough to resolve its surface, and suddenly the old picture is incomplete. Donaldjohanson is a perfect example. Before Lucy arrived, astronomers could estimate its size, brightness, rotation, and likely origin. After Lucy arrived, they could finally examine its physical structure directly. The difference is enormous, but the strange neck between its two lobes is only part of the story. The asteroid also shows evidence that sunlight may have played a surprisingly important role in shaping its evolution, and NASA's latest analysis indicates that its history may include an even more unusual chapter involving the brief presence of liquid water in its distant past. That possibility is especially intriguing because an asteroid like Donaldjohanson is far too small and cold today to maintain surface water in the way Earth does. If that evidence holds up, scientists will have to understand not only how the asteroid was assembled, but what conditions existed when its parent body was breaking apart. The evidence does not yet provide every answer. Scientists are still separating what the images directly show from what the physics suggests. But that distinction is exactly what makes this investigation so valuable. Lucy did not arrive at Donaldjohanson looking for something impossible. It arrived expecting a rehearsal, collected precise measurements, and found a natural laboratory for studying how asteroids evolve. The deeper scientists look, the clearer it becomes that this small object may preserve several different stages of solar system history in a single body. And the most revealing evidence is still hidden in the details of its surface and structure. The leading explanation is that Donaldjohanson's strange shape and unusual rotation are connected. Two asteroid fragments likely came together after a violent collision, while sunlight gradually altered the way the combined bodies spun. NASA's Lucy data now show that this was not simply a passive rock drifting through space. The asteroid has been changing over time, and one of the most important forces involved is surprisingly subtle. The sun itself has been helping reshape it. That force is called the Yorp effect. In simple terms, sunlight heats the surface of an asteroid, and the warm material releases energy back into space as infrared radiation. Because Donaldjohanson is irregular rather than perfectly symmetrical, that escaping heat does not push equally in every direction. The imbalance produces a tiny torque, essentially a very weak twist. Over millions of years, that tiny force can significantly change an asteroid's rotation. And Donaldjohanson appears to show the consequences. Before Lucy arrived, observations from Earth suggest that the asteroid rotated once roughly every 5 days. That was already unusually slow for an object of this kind. But Lucy's close-up measurements revealed something more complicated. Donaldjohanson is not simply rotating around one fixed axis like a spinning basketball. Instead, it is tumbling in a non-principal axis motion, rotating end over end while also wobbling around its long axis. The second motion takes about 5 days. That distinction matters. To understand the scale, picture an object nearly 5 miles long, traveling around the Sun between Mars and Jupiter, with gravity so weak that a person standing on its surface would experience only a tiny fraction of Earth's pull. Now imagine that this irregular body has been slowly changing its rotation for tens of millions of years because of heat leaving its surface. The force involved is almost unimaginably small. The timescale is enormous, yet the result is visible in the asteroid's structure today. This is one of the most useful lessons Donaldjohanson offers. In space, a force does not have to be powerful to become important. It only needs enough time. Lucy's images suggest that Donaldjohanson is a bilobate asteroid, meaning it has two major lobes connected by a narrow neck. The most likely interpretation is that the two pieces originated from a larger parent body that was shattered in a collision. Instead of flying apart permanently, two fragments eventually came together under their mutual gravity. Their encounter was gentle enough for them to remain connected, but the resulting object was anything but simple. The neck is particularly revealing. It does not look like two perfectly spherical rocks touching at one point. The region is much more complicated, with slopes and geological structures that reflect how loose material moved across the asteroid over time. As the asteroid's rotation slowed, the balance between rotational effects and gravity changed. Material that had once been influenced strongly by the asteroid's rapid spin could gradually move toward more stable locations. The evidence supports this interpretation because Lucy did not merely photograph Donaldjohanson from one angle. The spacecraft observed the asteroid from multiple positions as it passed at roughly 600 miles, or about 960 kilometers away. Those observations allowed researchers to reconstruct its three-dimensional shape and study its surface in much greater detail than Earth-based telescopes could provide. And there was another instrument looking beyond visible light. Lucy's infrared spectrometer detected signatures associated with iron-rich clay minerals on the asteroid's surface. Infrared spectroscopy works a little like reading a chemical fingerprint. Different minerals absorb and reflect particular wavelengths of light, so scientists can examine the pattern and infer what materials are present. In Donaldjohanson's case, those observations point to clays similar to minerals found in certain carbon-rich meteorites. The significance is not that Donaldjohanson contains a lake or an underground ocean. It does not. The evidence instead suggests that water was briefly present in the asteroid's distant past, long before Lucy arrived. That water likely participated in chemical reactions inside the parent material, helping transform minerals into the iron-rich clays detected today. That is a remarkable clue. It means the asteroid preserves evidence of an environment that no longer exists. When researchers examine data like this, they are rarely searching for one spectacular answer. They are reconstructing a sequence of events. First came the original parent body. Then a collision shattered it. Fragments separated, some eventually reunited. Rotation evolved. Solar heating continued to act on the surface. And somewhere in the deeper history of the material, water altered minerals before disappearing. If you enjoy exploring discoveries like this through clear, evidence-based science, consider subscribing so we can continue examining the universe together. The important point is that these events do not need to happen quickly. Planetary science often works on timescales that are almost impossible to visualize. A change that would be meaningless over a human lifetime can become dramatic when repeated over millions of years. In my years of studying planetary systems, this is one of the patterns that repeatedly stands out. The solar system looks stable only when you watch it for a very short time. Given enough time, even tiny forces leave fingerprints. Donaldjohanson may be one of those fingerprints. Its current rotation is believed to be much slower than it was when the asteroid formed. Researchers estimate that it may once have rotated at least 10 times faster, before solar-driven thermal forces gradually altered its spin over the last 20 to 60 million years. As the rotation slowed, loose material could settle differently across the surface. That provides a possible explanation for some of the asteroid's worn and redistributed terrain. But there is an important scientific caution here. The Yorp effect is a strong and physically understood mechanism, and the measurements are consistent with it. Yet reconstructing the complete history of an asteroid from a single flyby is not like watching a time-lapse movie. Scientists are working backward from the evidence that remains today. The distinction is important. A crater tells you that something happened. A mineral tells you something about chemistry. A rotation pattern tells you about dynamics. But connecting all of those clues into one continuous history requires models, comparisons, and further observations. That is why Donaldjohanson becomes especially interesting when scientists compare it with other asteroids. Bennu, visited by NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission, and Ryugu, explored by Japan's Hayabusa 2 mission, are also primitive, carbon-rich asteroids with evidence of complicated histories involving water and chemical alteration. Yet their shapes, surfaces, and evolutionary paths are different. Donaldjohanson adds another piece to that comparison. And comparison is powerful. When two asteroids share similarities but differ in important ways, those differences can reveal which processes matter most. Scientists can ask why one object retained certain minerals while another did not. They can examine why one asteroid spins rapidly while another tumbles slowly. They can investigate how collisions, sunlight, internal heating, and water interacted at different stages. What experienced astronomers learn is that nature rarely gives us a single clean experiment. Instead, we build the picture by comparing many imperfect witnesses. Donaldjohanson is one of those witnesses. It also helps explain why Lucy's mission is aimed at the Jupiter-Trojan asteroids. The Trojans occupy two large groups along Jupiter's orbit around the Sun. and many scientists believe they preserve material from an early chapter of solar system history. Lucy will eventually visit several of these objects, beginning with its Trojan encounters in 2027. Donaldjohanson was never the ultimate destination. It was a rehearsal. Yet that rehearsal demonstrated that Lucy's instruments could operate together during a high-speed asteroid encounter and collect the kind of data needed for the much more ambitious Trojan observations ahead. At Donaldjohanson, LORRI provided detailed images, while the spacecraft's other instruments gathered information about the asteroid's composition and physical properties. The spacecraft was traveling at roughly 30,000 miles per hour during the encounter. There was no opportunity to stop and circle the asteroid. Lucy had one brief passage, one carefully planned sequence of observations, and one chance to capture as much information as possible. That makes the resulting data even more valuable. A flyby is a scientific snapshot. But sometimes one snapshot contains enough clues to reconstruct an entire history. Donaldjohanson's story now appears to involve violent collisions, gravitational reunion, changing rotation, solar heating, surface movement, and ancient water-driven chemistry. None of those processes requires exotic physics. None requires an extraordinary explanation. What makes the asteroid fascinating is that ordinary physical laws, acting together over immense stretches of time, produced something remarkably complex. But one major question remains: how common is this kind of history? If many small asteroids formed through collisions and later evolved under the influence of sunlight, then objects like Donaldjohanson may represent a much broader class of bodies than we once realized. And if water altered some of their minerals early in their history, those asteroids could also help scientists understand how water and chemically important materials were distributed throughout the young solar system. This is where Lucy's larger mission becomes important. The spacecraft is now moving toward a population of asteroids with different origins and different histories. Future encounters will provide opportunities to test whether the processes seen at Donaldjohanson are common, unusual, or tied specifically to its particular lineage. Science advances this way. One discovery does not close the book. It gives us a better page to read. Donaldjohanson began as a small, distant point of light. Lucy transformed that point into a world with a shape, a rotation, a geological history, and chemical clues about water that existed long before humans ever looked toward the sky. And as Lucy moves onward toward the ancient Trojan asteroids, the real value of this encounter may be that it taught scientists exactly what to look for when the next strange world comes into view.